Anora moves through life the way many people do when they've learned not to expect softness. Not reckless. Not naive. Just practiced. She is young, sharp-eyed, and self-contained. Living in New York, where survival often wears the disguise of confidence, she works in a world built on performance. A nightclub where men come to feel powerful, and women learn to read power like weather. Anora knows how to smile without giving anything away. She knows how to laugh at the right moment, how to make people believe they are seen, while keeping herself hidden. Because in places like this, attention is currency, and she has learned, quietly, how to earn. The nights blur together. Music, neon, perfume, the constant hum of people spending money like it will buy them meaning. Anora moves through it with a kind of detached professionalism. Until one night, something shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, just differently. A boy arrives, not a man pretending to be young, not a businessman looking for escape. A boy, rich in the way that feels almost unreal. The kind of rich that doesn't carry itself carefully, because it has never had to. His name is Ivan. He is reckless, charming, careless. He smiles, like consequences don't apply to him. And when he looks at Anora, it isn't with hunger exactly. It's with boredom searching for something new. He chooses her, quickly. Not because she is the most beautiful in the room, because she feels like a story he hasn't bought yet. Ivan wants company, and money makes wanting simple. He offers her more time, more exclusivity, more comfort than her life usually allows. And Anora, who has spent years navigating men's desires like a map, finds herself stepping into something unfamiliar. Not romance. Not yet. Just possibility. Ivan takes her out of the nightclub's dim routine and into his world, private spaces, expensive silence, rooms that don't smell like sweat and desperation. There is an absurdity to it. The speed. The ease. The way his life seems to have no edges, and Anora watches him carefully. The way you watch someone holding a match near gasoline, because she knows something. Nothing this soft is ever free. Still, Ivan keeps pulling her closer. He talks too much, laughs too loudly, spends money like it's a joke. He wants her near him constantly, like she's become his newest addiction. And Anora plays along at first, because playing along is what she does. But slowly, something starts to blur. The line between performance and presence. Ivan looks at her sometimes with something almost sincere, almost lanili. And Anora, against her own instincts, begins to respond. Not with trust, but with curiosity. Because when someone offers you warmth after years of cold, you don't ask if it's permanent. You just hold your hands out. Their connection grows strange and fast, like a fire built from dry paper. They spend days together. Nights. Long mornings where the city feels far away. Ivan starts talking about escape, about leaving everything, about how meaningless his wealth feels, how suffocating his family is, how he wants something real. Anora listens. Listens, and somewhere deep inside her, a quiet thought forms. What if this is real? Not love, exactly, but a door, a way out, a way forward. And then Ivan does something that feels impossible. He proposes, not in a romantic, careful way, more like a child making a decision in the middle of a game. He says it suddenly, impulsively, as if marriage is just another thrill, another rebellion. Anora freezes, because she understands what marriage means in her world. It means stability, legitimacy, a different life. But she also understands what marriage means in his world. It means nothing. A signature, a Joe, a temporary madness. And yet, Ivan insists. He wants it now. No parents. No permission. Just the two of them. running towards something that feels like freedom. Anora hesitates only briefly, because hesitation is a luxury too. And so she says yes. And just like that, the girl from the nightclub becomes someone's wife. The wedding is rushed, almost surreal. Bright lights, quick vows, laughter that feels slightly unreal. Anora watches herself in this moment, as if from a distance, as if she is stepping into someone else's life. For a brief, shimmering moment, it almost works. She imagines the future. Not a fantasy, just relief. A life where she doesn't have to calculate every smile, where she can stop performing, where she can simply exist. But dark social realism doesn't allow fairy tales for long, because wealth is not just money. Wealth is a system, a fortress. And Ivan's family is not the kind of family that allows accidents. They hear about the marriage like it's an emergency, like someone has stolen something from them. And in their world, love is not a reason. It's a threat. Anora doesn't fully understand what she has stepped into until the walls begin to close. Phone calls. Sudden silences. Men arriving with polite faces and cold eyes. The atmosphere changes. Ivan, once careless, starts to seem smaller, less certain, as if he's remembering who owns his life, and Anora begins to feel it. This isn't a romance. It's a collision between a girl who has fought for every inch and a family that has never been told no. Part 1 ends with Anora standing inside a life that looks like salvation, while sensing, quietly, that it may actually be a trap. The dream is still glowing, but somewhere behind it, something is coming. A reckoning. A reminder, a force that does not negotiate. The morning after the wedding is eerily quiet. The city hums outside, oblivious, but inside the walls of Ivan's family estate, the air feels heavy like a storm waiting to break. Anora moves slowly through the grand corridors, each polished surface reflecting not joy, but expectation. She is learning quickly that wealth isn't generosity, it's control. Ivan sits across from her at breakfast, a nervous energy around him she has never seen. The boy who once laughed at consequence now tiptoes through his own home as if it were a minefield. Anora watches him carefully, seeing the cost of privilege etched in hesitation. In every slight glance toward the family portraits on the wall, faces of ancestors who built this empire, who know how to bend loyalty, love, and law into obedience. It begins subtly. Dinners that feel like interrogations. Conversations where silence carries threat. The family's hospitality is sharp-edged. Smiles are measured and conditional. Anora realizes that in this world, marriage is not a partnership, it is a transaction, and she is the newest asset. She is not naive. She has survived men's desire before, but the family's power is different. It is systemic, calculated, omnipresent. Every action she takes is observed, every word weighed, and yet, for the first time in years, she feels the strange stirrings of fear tempered by clarity. Anora's mind begins to map the rules of this new life. She observes, remembers, and tests. Subtle defiance becomes a game, a word spoken too carefully, a glance that measures reaction. She learns that survival here is not about overt rebellion. It is about understanding the invisible lines. Ivan is changing too. The careless boy is slipping behind the mask of a man who belongs to this family. He is less playful, less spontaneous. Anora notices the tension in his shoulders, the hollow of his smile. He is learning that wealth is not just a playground, it is a cage. And the cage has walls he cannot climb. The midpoint arrives unexpectedly, during a family gathering meant to celebrate the union. The room is opulent, the chandelier casting fractured light across polished floors. But the laughter is brittle. A discussion turns into a confrontation. A comment meant as a jest becomes a reminder of power. Ivan flinches. Anora steps forward. Something shifts inside her. The thrill of being wanted fades. She realizes that the life she imagined, the escape, the comfort, the illusion of choices built on others' rules. She is now aware the freedom she sought is entangled with authority, expectation, and unspoken threats. Yet Anora is not powerless. She begins to navigate the currents differently. She chooses her battles, but also plants seeds of quiet resistance. A carefully chosen word, a refusal to comply in small matters, a hint of self. The family notices, but underestimates her. They see a bride, they do not see the survivor. Ivan watches her. His eyes betray a mix of admiration and despair. He understands, too late, that the world he thought he knew is bigger than him. The impulsive marriage, the fantasy of escape, they were naive. And yet, he is drawn to her strength, the way she meets authority without panic, the way she carries herself as though the walls around her do not exist. Tension grows. Every interaction becomes a test. Anora discovers that the family's real weapon is not anger, it is expectation. They measure compliance with subtle pressure, exploiting guilt, loyalty, and desire. And she realizes that her survival depends on something deeper than cleverness. It requires emotional intelligence, patience, and the ability to appear compliant while preserving autonomy. The emotional climax comes quietly, in a room where Anora confronts Ivan alone. No words are shouted. No accusations are thrown. She simply says what she has learned. We can survive this, but only if we understand it on our own terms. It is not reconciliation. It is not surrender, it is strategy. And in that moment, Ivan sees the transformation he never anticipated. Anora, who once navigated the nightclub with smiles and secrecy, now navigates power with clarity and precision. She's no longer just a participant. She is an agent. The final scenes are reflective, almost meditative. Anora walks through the estate at dusk, observing the world she inhabits. The lights in the city glimmer faintly below, a reminder of the life beyond these walls. She is neither trapped nor free, but poised, aware that control is relative, that fear can coexist with power, that identity can survive even inside a system designed to consume it. A last thought lingers with the viewer. Survival is not about changing the world around you. It is about mastering the world within yourself, about knowing when to yield, when to resist, and when to step forward quietly, invisibly, like a shadow that bends light without breaking it. And in the silence, the weight of the family's presence, the pulse of the city below, and the soft certainty of her own mind, Anora becomes something more than a girl who sought escape. She becomes the calculation of survival, the clarity of independence, the calm at the center of a storm that no one else can see.